2023, eh? Who would have guessed we'd make it, right? Against all the odds. We've only gone and bloody made it, eh? Yeah, how you all doing? Welcome. Darius, how you doing, mate? Etienne, how you doing? Dave, I didn't think you were going to make it, Dave. Glad you made it. Roaring Waves, how you doing, mate? How you doing? Welcome. Yeah, let's get this sorted whilst everybody takes a seat. Yep. Let's get this all going. Yeah, did everybody have a good break? Christmas and New Year. Anybody go anywhere good? Simon, how you doing? I went down to see the folks in Cornwall here in the south of the UK. Always a fun 6 or 7 hour trip down to the Faraday cage that is Cornwall. I mean, not that I'm complaining. I do actually quite like the fact that you just unplug for a week and don't have to deal with any online crap. But yeah, no, it was good. It was good. Yeah, I hope you guys had a good break, time off at least. Some of you must have had some time. Some of you must have had some time off. Anders, how you doing? Happy New Year, mate. Yeah, Happy New Year. Yeah, it's tough coming back, actually. I say tough coming back, as in tough getting back into the swing of it all, right? I was like, kind of got all these new things, new year, got all the tax return to do, got all that crap to catch up on, all that nonsense. It was, I tried to start, because we have supposed to have a holiday, national holiday yesterday, whatever it was, bank holiday, rollover yesterday, and I was, I'll make a start on the work yesterday, but did I hell? I did like 2 hours and was like, whew, pooped. Have to take another break. Matthew, mate, how you doing? Yeah, Happy New Year. We are good, thanks, Matt. Yeah, we're just chilling out. Everybody have a good New Year's? Anybody go anywhere good? I actually went out for the first time in a while. We were coming back from Cornwall, driving back, and I got a message from Rod, who is the CEO there of Rotalight. He's actually in a band. He's like lead guitarist and singer, and he was like, do you want to? We're doing a gig on New Year's Eve. Do you want to come down and check it out? I was like, I didn't actually have any plans, but yeah, okay, yeah, it'd be good. It was actually really good, man. Actually, really good night. Well, other than the fact that a pint was £6.60 or something ridiculous. My wife was driving, so she had a lemonade, and I had a pint, and it came to like £10.40, £10.60. I was like, fucking what? That shows how long it's been since I've been out. Bloody. I remember pound a pint when I was at uni. Yeah. Kerry, Happy New Year. Yeah, how you doing? Ryan, Happy New Year, mate. Wibbly. Oh, welcome back, mate. Welcome back. We dug around and we did find some rain for you. I know you've been missing it, but we were like, look, Wibbly's coming back. Look, we need to make him feel at home. So if we could just have nothing but torrential drizzle for the next 3 to 4 months, that would really help to make him feel at home again. So yeah, no need to thank us. We all dug deep, and we made it happen for you, mate. Glad you can make it back. You didn't get out, Simon. I don't blame you. It's too bloody expensive, mate. You can't go out. Yeah. Didn't get away. We managed to kick off the pole photography venture with the freezing cold location shoot. Oh yeah, that's right, Dave. Yeah, nice. You've already done one this year. Doctors and policemen look young. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, you say that. We left the pub, whatever, about 1, 2 o'clock, something like that. And yeah, as usual, there was some dickhead on the pavement, just being pinned to the ground by six policemen. And you're right. I was like, bloody hell, it's like 6 young lads in reflective vests, like nailing that guy to the floor. I mean, like, that's Wokingham for you, I guess. No photo shoots, but I got a gong in the new year. Honestly, what do you mean you got a gong? What's that about? What do you mean? You win something? Somebody honour you with something? Did my first shoot of the year yesterday. Oh, fair play, fair play. I got my first shoot on Saturday, which I'm trying to prep for. So yeah, we'll go over some bits and pieces on how we can look at prepping for 2023 in general for us taking pictures. Right, we'll have a look at that. It might be familiar to some of you. I was going to say older people watching, but I meant regular viewers, not old as in age, of course. What is it? What do you mean a gong? What is that? What is that? You have to forgive my ignorance, Wibbly. But what do you mean, like a gong for, like you just get knighted or something like that? And rather than that, they gave you a gong, or you got to shoot in an hour. What do you got going on in an hour, Kerry? What are you shooting? Portraits. Speak up, young'un. Right, I know. Yeah, but just bring the microphone in a little bit closer for you, mate. That's loud enough, though, right? It's peaking on my end. Surely the audio that is loud enough, right? My voice is loud enough. It's a medal for work I did. Okay, Wibbly. Okay, cool. He's really eking it out here. He's really keeping it vague. Okay, but it was for photography, Wibbly, yeah, not your sideline. I've just received a prize for the picture and the one I've posted in the shortlist. I've just received a prize. Prize? Receive a prize for the picture and the one I've posted in the shortlist. Okay, everybody's getting prizes, man. Fucking congrats, everybody. Amazing. Kerry says I've got a fashion shoot. Nice. The best kind of shoot. Love it. Practicing draping fabric ball gowns. Okay. Did anybody get any cool tech over Christmas? Anybody get any good presents? I mean, I didn't. Just want to let you all know that don't expect me to come out with, well, guys, check out what I got. You're fine, Etienne. No, you're absolutely fine. Yeah, your English is far better than my French, I can assure you. Yeah, anybody get anything good? I didn't get anything. I didn't get anything fancy, I'm afraid, at all. But yeah, let's have a look. Let's see what we got. See what we got going on. Hey, Ludwig, how you doing, mate? Yeah, thanks for posting images in there. I know it's been a little while, but yeah, it's good to see you again. I was going to say, yeah, glad you finally made it for the live stream. I know, man. It's been a while. What time is it with you, Ludwig? You got a new projector, Ryan. What sort of one did you get? If you say 4K, then I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown. Wobbly, what? Who got a massage gun but didn't think it what? Hey, what you do in your own time is entirely up to you. All right, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You be you. All right. But Dave, you got another Neo 3. Nice. Have you got any AOS's yet? I couldn't send a picture here. Okay. Was it the image that you posted last night? The image that you posted last night. Yeah. And Anders got a prize for his shared photo. Oh, I'll have a look at that in a minute. Yeah. Oh, nice, Wibbly. Congrats, mate. Congrats. I mean, looks like you're having a right old time. Bloody retirement. That's something to look forward to. You're bloody in Thailand all the time, getting awards, prizes. I mean, all the love and praise from us in here. I mean, I'm just not sure what else you could possibly need, really. And you got yourself an A7 Alpha. All right, mate. All right. Yeah. I think you've said enough. Yeah. Ryan got a 4K, 4,000 ViewSonic projector. Okay. I'd be interested to see how that works. I have yet to use the 4K projector in photography. I'm still kind of curious as to like the size of the pixels, because we had it. Well, I just did a shoot the other day, and it was like, whoa, pixels. Even with mine, I felt the pixels were a bit big. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm just not sure if I used them enough for me to. I mean, unless you got a deal, I suppose you could have got like a Black Friday deal, but it's still pretty pricey. Or I could be wrong. 4K projectors are still pretty good. Right, just let me open this link that Etienne's posted before I share, just in case he's sent something naughty. See, that opening shot is a little bit risque, Etienne. Thank you. Thank you for that. But congratulations on your award. Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah. Sadly, I can't read anything about it. But yeah, congrats, mate. Congrats. Oh, was there 3 images there? Is there? Yeah. If you guys feeling brave, you can click on that link. But awesome work. Awesome work. Nice. Right then, what are we doing today? Let's close that down. Everything's okay. Let's get that. We're gonna give you a bottle. Yeah, I think yeah. just get out. Just get out. Leave. Right, we're done. Right, let's get this back to God. I'm just so good at this now. Right. I did it, guys. What we're doing today. So what we're doing today is we're going to have a look at some images that you guys have posted, because I asked you guys to post some images from like your favorite images of 2022, right? I know everybody's doing this, our favorite shots and all that sort of stuff, and I need to actually look at what the most popular shots were out of, I do it every year. I look at what the most, popular shots are. And when I say popular, I mean just in terms of likes and loves and all that sort of stuff, interactions. And although it's not, it's not always a rock solid guide as to what's best, as it were, because it's really difficult to read the algorithm, and nobody else could have posted anything good that day, and yours is just the best one by default. But yeah, I always find it useful to go through and have a look at, like, the top 10 most favorited images, if you like. But what I wanted to do here was actually for us to share images that meant something to us, that we were most proud of from 2022. So like my image here. This was absolutely by no means my most liked image at all. In fact, these long exposure images, do have a fairly niche crowd, as it were. So they're certainly not the most popular images I post, but I do love shooting them. Mainly because of how creative that process is. Of the model's moving, you're moving. There's a lot going on in terms of color temperatures and movement, capturing somebody still, as well as having that sense of energy. And I love it because it's kind of a unique look that us as photographers have. Like, we can't visually see this, our eyes don't see this, video doesn't see this. The long exposure stuff that we see with our cameras is kind of unique to that medium. So I do kind of like that about it as well. But for this particular shot, I just really liked the colors that we had going. Basha, this is actually one of the first, this is the first shoot that I did with Basha. Incredible model. I see many of you have now worked with her as well, so she's obviously been very busy. But yeah, incredible model. And for me as well, one of the reasons I liked this one was I think not only was it just getting it perfectly crisp here on the face, which is kind of tricky to do with this particular setup, with this sort of profile shot, and also the fact that the getting some like ambient sort of texture back here in the background, because normally it's this will just be bleached out and pure white. So I was actually really happy that on this particular shoot I managed to get it a little bit knocked back, so I'm still getting the long exposure effect, but without it just bleaching out to pure white. So personally, yeah, for me this just stood out as my favorite. I suppose, kind of biased. I went on to work with Basham so many times last year, and this shoot that we did, we just got so many incredible images, just tons and tons of images on this first shoot, which was amazing. So that, maybe I'm kind of biased in that regard, and like I said, I love the technique and how I kind of managed to get a really cool look from a tricky technique. So that's why it stood out for me. And we're going to go through your guys' images here that you posted. We got a bunch of images here, and I'm not going to be critiquing these images unless you're in chat and you want me to, because these are your best images. So normally every couple of weeks I do a live stream and I critique your shots. On this particular time I will not be critiquing images, because this is your best shot. I don't want to pick holes in one of your best images. This is not the time for that. So yeah, we'll just be enjoying these shots, and hopefully I see some of you guys have put some descriptions as to why these images mean something to you, and it's just a chance for us to look back, right? And I was kind of surprised, because I thought, business wise, it's certainly been a patchy year last year for a few reasons, and I was like, Jesus, I'm glad 2022's behind me. But I actually do a book every year. I actually do a book every year, which is just basically sort of my favourite images from the year, really. And I was amazed actually going through how many kind of shoots that I'd done, and how many sort of shots that I loved from the year, because I think it's pretty easy to get just bogged down, or almost a little bit depressed sometimes. It's like, oh my god, I haven't done anything new, I haven't done anything creative, what am I going to do? It's Jesus, I'm washed up. And then you actually go through just a 12 months worth of shoots, and you're like, holy hell, I actually did a ton, and also did a ton of really creative new ideas as well. So I think it's nice to just step back and take an overview of your own work once in a while. Sorry, I'm getting a bit far away from the mic for you, Dave. I apologise, mate. But yeah, so I put this book together every year, and I normally I barely even look at them. But in years to come, I know that I will look at them. So I do think it's valuable to do. If you're interested, I get these done from Bob Books, BOB Books. And the reason being is because they actually use silver halide paper, so it's beautiful photo quality, and the books lay flat, right? So I think there's one landscape in here, landscape orientation, not image. Don't panic. But yeah, so they do like lay flat, so you can do like it actually looks really cool. So yeah, Bob Books. It is expensive. Like there's no question. These are expensive. I don't know. It's 120, 30, 40 quid or something like that. But if you're a new customer, I think you get 20% off. So yeah, it's always good to look back, right? And like I said, that gives us a chance for perspective. Because we can be up against the coalface, as it were, just looking at the next shoot, and okay, I've just finished retouching that last shoot, onto the next shoot. Sometimes it's good just to step back and see what you've done over a set period of time. Right, what did I miss? Let's have a look. Hey Dan, happy New Year, mate. Yeah, how you doing? No worries, Dave's in a second. And this is a lovely photo. I favored long exposure. I was trying selfie before Christmas. Have you done this one? Light backdrop and sharp. Yeah, it is. This is. I'm not being cocky, but yeah, it is a very tricky technique to do, because you're doing, using flash as well as ambient, and then you're trying to match those two color temperatures, and you're trying to merge the fact that you've got the subject moving and the background moving, you're moving. So there's a lot of literally moving parts in that, and yeah, it is. These long exposure shots, it's just about capturing the subject with the flash, and then having the ambient light in the rest of the shot whilst you're moving around. Wibbly says, I have limited choice, only done 2 shoots last year. Is that right, Wibbly? Okay. Well, they were bangers, mate. So quality over quantity. Yeah. Yeah, no worries, Wibbly. I'll refresh that if it's not there. Hey, Kevin, happy New Year, mate. Yeah, happy New Year. So okay, let's have a little gander at what you guys have got. And look, normally the caliber of images posted in here is outstanding anyway, so I am expecting the caliber to be, and yes, I can see the caliber is even more outstanding this time, because everybody's sharing their best work. So this is beautiful. Jesus, guys, yeah, absolutely outstanding. What an absolute bunch of lighting legends you are, eh? and no black and whites in there, so I don't have to ban anybody today. That's always a bonus, right? Always a bonus. Okay, let's have a look now. Let's see what you guys have been up to. Let's look at Anders at the top here. So Anders says, oh, I do remember this one. It's hard to pick, but this one was wonderful. Model Depani, my favourite shot, I think. Okay, you can probably argue that there are some problems with a pose and a hand's not visible, for example, but if you like the overfeel of the shot. Yeah, I know you shared this one a while back, and you know we went through it, and you're right. You know, I spoke about the you know, like the lack of the hands and stuff in the you know, when we went through it last time, but in terms of lighting and tonality and that sort of stuff, absolutely bang on, Anders. Yeah, really beautiful tonality here. You know, this is what I look for as well. Is this beautiful highlight to shadow drop off, and then you know another color comes in. So this is really, really beautiful light. You know, the face is really well lit, especially considering as she's kind of tucked in there amongst hair and arm, so the face is really well lit, and you're definitely drawn into that face with this shot as well. Sometimes I think with gel shots we can be kind of guilty of over lighting it sometimes, and you kind of lose focus on the face, whereas I think this nice sort of natural vignette that we have here with the lighting really sort of draws us into the subject. So I think it's absolutely beautifully done, and we also have a lot of data in the hair as well, which is really, really nice. Yeah, really nice, really nice. And again, like pinks are kind of hard to do without overexposing them, and I think the exposure you got on the pinks and stuff here is nice without them blowing out highlights, as it were. So yeah, you should definitely be proud of this one, mate. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Cracking shot. Yeah, really nice. Yeah, good to see it again as well. Yeah, yeah. Matching the ambient and strobe is always crazy. Yeah. Any motivation to plan new shoots being sort of in the humdrums. We'll have a look at, we're going to have a chat about that in after we've gone through these. I want to have a chat about how we can focus our vision on 2023, and I've just done this myself, and we're going to go through a sort of a process, if you like, but an exercise in how we can kind of stop and focus on where we want to take our images this year. And like I said, I got my first shoot coming up of the year on Saturday, and I was kind of doing this refocusing towards the end of last year, and looking at where I want to take my images in 2023. What do I want to achieve with them? What am I trying to do with them, and how can I achieve that? So there is an exercise that we can go through, and like I said, I've recently done it, and I do it all the time with my online students as well. So I've got a couple of examples from them as well that I'll share with you. But I do think it's a very useful exercise to do, and one that I would highly recommend that you all do, as I've just done it. I've been shooting for 20 plus years or something like that, so you can do it no matter how long you've been shooting. So Ludwig is up next. It'll be this one. I enjoyed the process of the shot and working its colours so much it became a favourite of the year. So yeah, I remember seeing this on Instagram, Ludwig, and this is one that you shot earlier in the year, right? Beautiful image, and I think I remember commenting on it at the time, because this is a projector, if you're still in here, Ludwig, right? I think you're saying you're using a projector, and like you're really, really nailing this now. Beautiful image, beautiful colours, absolutely gorgeous colours, and really nice drop off from highlight to shadows and that sort of thing. Really, really nice combination there, and of course, like, really cool graphic that you've got going on with this, which I think I asked you at the time, and you said it was projected. So really, really cool. Yeah, love this. And you've done a whole series like this, I think. I don't know whether maybe before, but definitely since, where you've done a lot with this singular projected sort of shape or geometric there. So yeah, I mean, it's been awesome to see you play and work with this and sort of build upon it over the last 12-18 months. Yeah, really, really cool. Love this one a lot. And again, gorgeous colours with these sort of like the purples and the greens. Really nice. Was this like, what is this? I was looking at the hair. Has she got like barbed wire in the hair or something? Like I was looking at that clip going, what the hell is that? What are we doing here? What is this? Silver says, did a whole series with projection. I guess it was the tool of the year. Well, for some, yeah. For some, yeah. It's something that I think more and more people have started to use, but I still think that it's so underutilized. Like every time I use it, I mean, I did a shoot a couple of weeks ago with it, and I was like, this just opens up a whole. This is a whole new idea that that I've never touched upon before, which I think has got even more potential. But having the ability to shine any color, shape, image, object, you can just literally just the sky's the limit with what you can do with a projector. Though it can be tricky to work with, especially if you're trying to mix them like you're doing there. But definitely worth the effort. Yeah, really cool, man. Yeah, really cool. Thank you for sharing that one. Yeah. And look, I know you guys just saw me hide that. I'm not being a dick, but I'm happy for people to share their work and that sort of thing. But I don't remember hearing from you before, Abul. So I'm happy for people to share their work and that sort of thing. But feel free to take part as well. So it says, I made a mistake or not, but got a DLP projector. Anything above a 60th starts overrunning the color wheel, makes some color rainbow effects, but locked to the slow shutter speed. DLP? What's DLP? DLP projector. Anything above a 60th starts overrunning the color wheel and makes some color rainbow effects, but locked to the slow shutter speed. Okay. Yeah, not sure on that. So we had an instance, I think, before. Was it? I'm sure somebody said they had an LED projector and they were finding issues with it because LEDs pulse, right? So I think they were finding an issue with that as well. But yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Yeah, projected tech uses a color wheel to create the color. Something to watch out for. So what he's saying is that normally colors are mixed RGB wise. You're talking about they are turning on different colors like pixels, right? That's how like a TV or something like that essentially works, right? So you're saying that projectors are using something else to project that color. That's interesting. I'll have to look at that, because I know that like there's almost a different color wheel for us with colored light. I mean, and I've kind of touched on it in the past, but light mixes in different ways, as we've kind of spoken about before. And it's an incredibly deep topic. But yeah, this is where we got here. Yeah, so this is like the lighting color wheel. So it's a little bit different to the painter's color wheel, which is the normal one that people use for color theory, right? They use this color wheel for color theory, which is a subtractive color wheel, and the additive color wheel is what is used for with lights, because certain colored lights mix together and make other colors. So we kind of have to be mindful of that. That's kind of okay. So you're talking about that as well, spinning disk of color. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I do find that interesting, Dan. I've never actually experienced an issue with it. So yeah, I'd be certainly interested to hear your thoughts on that. And did you explain what DLP was? Sorry if you did. Yeah. We get to back here. Yep. Okay, who we got? Right, Ryan's up next. I remember this one as well, Ryan. Yeah, hard to pick a favourite, but I use this one because it represents the things I enjoy most about and my progress as a photographer. Set building and advanced lighting techniques are hugely satisfying to me, thanks in large part to you and this community. I've learned to see things that were previously unnoticed in my work, and I've grown a lot this past year. That's awesome, Ryan. Yeah, thank you for saying that and for sharing this. Yeah, and I remember you posting the shot originally in the share a shoot, whenever it was, months ago. And yeah, it's great that you mentioned this as well. It says it represents the things that I enjoy most about my progress as a photographer, and that was the same for my image as well. It was something that means something to us. Like our favorite image of the year is rarely the one that's the most popular. It's usually the one that is like, oh yeah, we've managed to pull off something cool for the first time, or like you're saying, bringing together sort of like a culmination of your knowledge of set building and lighting and that sort of thing. So it's cool to see that. And yeah, like I said, I definitely remember you sharing this at the time, and yeah, really cool image with, and I think I said this at the time, strong sort of color theory with these warmer colors, these sort of yellowy colors. It's nice that you've knocked out a lot of the greens and stuff here and really leaned into those warmer sort of yellows and oranges, and matched that with not only like the background, some foreground elements here as well, but also like the skin tone and the hair and even the outfit. So it's all being sort of like all come together to sort of tie it in with that color grade, that warmer grade. I think you nailed it. Yeah, really cool. Yeah, thanks for being here as well, Ryan. Taking part and sharing your ideas and thoughts as well. That's what we're all in it for, really. Look forward to seeing what crazy sets you build this year, mate. I'll put 2 examples in the big thread. Oh, mate, yeah, I'll have a look. Thank you. Yeah. Brett squeaked in one here at the end. How you doing, Brett, mate? Well, Happy New Year. Just saw it was supposed to be best shots, but I don't have my external hard drives. I presume this is one. My recent had an orange octa as a rim, but still had some spillage on the background. But I like the lighting. Yeah, this is really cool, man. Yeah, really nice. I think it's nice. This is and I've played with this sort of thing before, where you're really sort of dancing in the sort of shadows. Really, it's not always about everything being sort of in your face, overly lit. We want to draw focus, to the subject's face or to the fashion, styling, that sort of thing. And I think it can be fun to play with heavy shadow, but still have data in there, which we do have here. I can definitely see a lot of data in here without it dropping off into that heavy shadow, which I really don't like. As you know, I've sort of mentioned my distaste of that, where it just drops off to like jet black shadow, and the viewer is left wondering, which is not always a good look. But this is awesome. Yeah, really nice control of light, a really nice gradient from shadow into the light here, which I especially like, and this beautiful sort of textured side light here. And I say textured as it's just skimming across this styling, this fashion here, which is just picking up these beautiful folds and stuff, and also giving us some much needed data in the hair here as well. So yeah, really nice. Kind of like the way that matches this sort of warmer color matches the skin tone on this side as well. Yeah, nice. Hope you guys had a good New Year, mate. Whereabouts are you these days, Brett? Are you in LA now, or in Vegas, or where are you? Yeah. Right, so sometimes you reach a point where the photo turns out like you actually planned it straight out of the camera, and you feel like you hit a new level, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we can all visualize something that we think we want, but actually being able to pull something off that you actually envisioned in your mind's eye is definitely a good feeling. Yeah, I've got an outer space pin-up scene coming up. Okay, that sounds cool. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, definitely. You got scoped for using colored light in there as well. Yeah. I think I find it, you talking about that, right, about having something in your mind's eye and then actually achieving it. I think it's something that I fall in and out of love with. What I mean by that, when I was younger and a student and that sort of stuff, that was my main goal, was to be able to become so good that I thought I could have an idea in my head and then kind of achieve it in camera. As years went on, I kind of found myself being wary of that notion. What I mean by that is that sometimes, especially on a gig where you've got lots of people involved, with a client sat there breathing down your neck, and something's been ticked off and pre-approved and all that sort of stuff. I get that. We're all trying to work towards that shot that we want, but sometimes I do find that it can be, or I know that I've skipped over something or missed something in the past where I've been so driven and so focused by this idea that I had in my head that I've perhaps missed going down an avenue over here that could have opened up something else, right? Shown me a new idea or a new technique. There's certainly been mistakes on shoot that haven't panned out in terms of the way I wanted, but I was like, okay, let's just pursue that for a second, and it turned into something cool. My point here is that over the years I've kind of learned to be flexible on that. It's yes, definitely have this fixed idea in your head, but never be so tied to it that you sort of overlook new ideas or creative aspects that maybe may go unnoticed or unrealized. My mind's on these glasses. yeah. Certainly do a cleaning them up, mate. Yeah, just a little bit of a clean, Hey, Belina, how you doing? I'm also learning to embrace spontaneity and improvisation. Exactly, right. Exactly, Ryan. Yeah, hit the nail on the head. Yeah, I don't know why I just didn't ask you to say that. I could have said it in 2 words rather than my small book. Clinging to a specific idea can sometimes be a shackle. Absolutely, yeah, completely agree. Yeah, completely agree. Someone says, I generally have a rough idea in my mind, but I like to see what will emerge. It's important to trust in your own ability. Absolutely, yeah, you guys are nailing it. Absolutely, yeah. And I would say that comes over time where you have more and more skills at your disposal that you're able to be a little bit more flexible with it. You're not like, oh my god, I don't want to let anybody down or not be able to pull this off. But yeah, having more and more tools in the toolbox enables you to be very flexible on the day, for sure. Yeah. The other thing is as well is that it might not always be down to you. I've certainly had shoots where somebody didn't bring something, or something broke or failed, or we can't black out that window. So you definitely got to be flexible and able to adapt quite quickly sometimes. Yeah. Sadly, I suck at spontaneity. Yeah, I get super stressed out working on the fly. Sometimes something I hope to work on. Yeah, it'll definitely come down. Like the more that you shoot and the more sort of variables that you do, the easier that will become, for sure. Because you'll go, oh, okay, do you know what? I thought that this red and green was going to work, but it kind of hasn't. Like, it's not working in my mind. What else can I go with? Just even simple stuff like that. You're able to twist it. Okay, let's go with a more of a red yellow, or green blue, and see if we can adapt like that. Being able to have extra ideas in the bag. Yeah, so much of this, my best photos were taken between setup changes and lighting testing. Really, Robin? Okay, yeah. Sorry, I just got a message that we've got stuff going on in the family, and I just wanted to check that wasn't from somebody, but it's just some scummy bastard trying to. Your device has been hacked and will no longer be viable with Apple Pay. Please click this link. All right, mate. Yeah, maybe later. There's actually been tons of ideas where, like I said, like a light hasn't fired, and actually go, I prefer that with a bit more contrast, or you've got the wrong camera setting, or the white balance done something weird. And you're like, what, I kind of like that. So definitely got to be open to those. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Brett. Dave's up next. So many to choose from. Each shoot this year has improved on the last, but the shots from this one always catch my eye as I scroll through my albums. Two gelled speed lights behind, and an 80-200 and an 80cm softbox for the main. Okay. That's awesome, Dave. I mean, that's got to be music to your ears, right? In the fact that you're saying so many to choose from. Each shoot this year has improved on the last. I mean, that's the dream right there. That is absolutely the dream. And one thing that I've sort of noticed as the years have gone on is that you get kind of freaked out, because that is just not always going to be the case. You've been shooting for 20 plus years. That's always my goal, is to always take better and better and better shoots. But sometimes it just doesn't happen, you know, and you can get in your own head about that. Where, you know, it's just not fair. Like the image that I chose from 2022 was like right at the start of the year. I was like, so Jake, you're telling me that throughout the entirety of the rest of the year, you didn't take a better image? Like, it can be rough to swallow sometimes. But if you're in a position where you're taking better and better shots, you know, shoots each time, outstanding, man. Yeah, that's the dream right there. And this is a cool shot. You know, I can see why it appeals to you. You got some really nice lighting on the face here again, like drawing us in. You know, and you know, a couple of splashes of color in here just to give it a little bit of interest. You know, to make it pop. I think it's cool, man. Yeah, really cool, really cool. Thanks for sharing this one. Those 8200s, those things, man, they're just doing work. Absolutely doing work. Yeah, really cool. Really, and it's great that sort of creative lighting like this is just so accessible to everybody these days. You know, a couple of 8200s and off you go. Yeah, really cool, really cool. Thanks for sharing that one. Hey Darren, Happy New Year, mate. Yeah. Have we had a good one? Do anything good, Darren? Did you? Did you go out and spend tons of money on 2 pints? I'm not bitter though. My brain always tells me that I hate improvisation, but some of my best stuff has come out of those situations. Yeah, it will do, man. Yeah, it will do. It will do. Being able to spot it is often the trick. Yeah. Jake, can I ask what lighting for gels is now a good choice? Can I ask what lighting for gels is now a good choice? Or if you talk before about it and you can send me a previous live about lighting equipment. Now I use speed lights and I wonder what I should buy. You know, Polina, so correct me if I'm wrong, but the question you're asking is what, you know, if you want to get into gelled lighting, what's some of the best lights to use, right? And the good news is that really it's pretty much anything. Although I would absolutely second you said there. I use speed lights and I wonder why I should buy. Yeah, so just out of curiosity, I actually wrote an article here on why you should upgrade your speed lights to a studio strobe. I know it's not exactly the question that you asked because you're already in that frame of mind. You know, you're already saying, yeah, Jake, I want to upgrade, so why? A couple of reasons being is that speed lights are very hard points of light. They're very difficult to control. But as long as we can spread the light evenly, we're going to get far better results. So, you know, here we're talking about lights coming out this small gap. Very, very difficult to spread it. Okay, so we want something that's going to be able to spread our light. So really, you can get any sort of strobe that has an exposed flash bulb like this is something that I would recommend, right? So getting a strobe that has an exposed flash bulb like this. By all means, read the article for why. And this is so the 8200s that we were just talking about here. This is what what Dave was using those in his shots. So these 8200s, they can come with a detachable speed light, and you can actually put an exposed bulb in there. So, you know, even just using, these are the Pika 200s. I'm not sure where you're based, but in the UK, Essential Photo sells these Pika 200s, so under the Pixar Pro brand. So yeah, I mean they're also a great start. And again, we're really talking about that exposed flash bulb. Let's have a look. If you So let's have a look. So I don't know why that's so small. 2 seconds. So I'm just gonna show you something that you don't have to spend a huge amount of money. Because here, look, I actually have a couple of these over there. They sent me these to test them. In fact, I asked them. I said, look, can you send me these to test? Because everybody keeps going about, oh, it's too expensive to upgrade to strobe from a speed light, and I was like, send me these to test. And this is all you need, okay? This really is. I mean, this is 200 watts. If you can afford a little bit extra and get the 400 watts, it's going to give you a little bit more option in terms of power. But very, very simple heads. I mean, a couple of years ago, these were only 100 quid. So I mean, you know, you can get very, very basic heads. These plug into the wall. These aren't battery operated, but again, we have an exposed flash tube here, S-fit modifiers, so you can get cheap modifiers on there. You don't need to spend a huge amount of money. This is going to be just as good as so many other strobes out there. It just doesn't have all of the fancy technical like high-speed sync, or you can't control it from your phone, or like these are all nice additional add-ons, but if you're trying to save money, then this is going to get you in my opinion, like 90% of the way. So yeah, something like that, and you're good to go. From there, you just want something that's going to spread the light. So now you can start to use umbrellas and beauty dishes and that sort of thing, and you can use those with gels. You're gonna start to see some huge gains in the results that you're getting over speed lights. So yeah, I'm glad that you want to get away from speed lights. Just make sure that you're getting something that has an exposed bulb, and you'll really be fine. You see, Darren's got the Lumia 200 here, and you really like it. Exactly, man. Yeah, honestly, it's just because it's cheap. Honestly, it is not crap at all. It really is, for the most part, all you need. Sure, you got to plug it in, so there's cables on the floor, but I mean, for the first 15 years of me shooting, that's just the way that we worked. And I used lights like that. The old Bowens heads were exactly like that. It's just turn them on. You have to walk over them to turn them up and down, and you're off. So they're actually really, really good. So Roaring says, I think I found a huge improvement in my work by working of color toning and using some new software to improve my workflow. So you're finding gains by working sort of on your images in post as well, and that's probably you getting your eye in as to what colors you like and what you're drawn to and that sort of thing. So yeah, all of that will tie in, even when it comes to actually shooting in camera as well, having a better idea of what colors harmonize. So it's all going to add up. There are some models that I use on multiple occasions, and I find that as the relationship builds, the better the photography becomes. Interesting, Simon. Okay, yeah. I'm kind of against that for some reason. Nothing wrong with what you're doing at all, and you're absolutely right. Of course, it will. I do kind of like working with newer models for some reason. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Just working through and you kind of building that, because it is a collaboration with them. They're doing their job, you're doing yours. I do kind of enjoy that process of two sort of creative people working something out, as it were. So yeah, I do always enjoy working with new people. And for business, I obviously work with a model on multiple occasions. Like Basha, we've worked on jobs and gigs so many times this year. Once I worked with her, once it was like, right, if a client wants great images, I know who I can call. I think a couple of lights with great power is super helpful, especially when you use dark blues. I have Flashpoint 600, 400. I'm pretty happy with it. Whereas a 200, 400, 600 is watts. Yeah, I mean, the power is relative, and you're absolutely right. What Robin's saying here is that like a navy blue gel is going to take like 2 stops of power away from that. So yes, you're right. You're going to have it cranked up, but if you're in a controlled environment, a dark room, and you're happy to shoot ISO 400, for example, modern cameras now shooting at higher ISO is not an issue at all. But Robin raises a point, yeah, and like I said, if you can afford to go for the for the 400s, if you can, an extra, what was it, 30 quid, I would say it's well worth it. Hey, no worries, Dave. Yeah, no worries. Daz is also keeping an eye on the modifier mount. We have 3 different types of strobes from different members at the studio, so none of us can share softboxes except Jake with his use umbrella steps. Exactly, that's the other thing with umbrellas. You can just use them anywhere. But Dan's point is right. Is a good one. That look for the actual attachment. So like I said to you a minute ago, these ones use the S-fit, right, and that is without a doubt the S-fit, so how the actual softbox attaches to the light, the bracket here, that is by far and away the most popular lighting attachment in the world. And Bowens invented that all those years ago, and for whatever reason they never clamped down on people copying it. And I think it was actually fairly clever, in all honesty, because them being, it was obviously patents, but them not doing anything about it meant that it became the almost de facto lighting bracket mount. As a result, I like it because you can get the super cheap modifiers, like third party modifiers, right? You don't have to buy a stupidly overpriced Profoto modifier that only works on that light. So yeah, Dan's right. Just watch those attachments. Yeah. The advantage of strobes is smaller gels and easier gelled, but that's almost all. The advantage of strobe is smaller gels and easier gelling. Advantage of strobe. Not sure what you mean there, Darius. Smaller gels, easier gelling, but almost all. Maybe there's. This is what we refer to as strobes in the UK. Maybe you're thinking about something else. I know different countries actually have a different word for strobes, so maybe that's where the confusion is. Have you used the round heads for the 8200s? I find they're great for umbrellas and they're very easy to gel. Yeah, absolutely fine. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it makes a huge amount of difference, but you raise a good point in terms of channeling the light into an umbrella. I'm sure it's fine. I would still probably prefer an exposed head. Like the round head is, I mean, Godox just tried to bring out a light that replicated the Profoto one, right? I mean, that's what Godox does. They do they do like to do that. I mean, it's just a circular speed light for me. If it works for you, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, having an exposed bulb is still something that I'm always after. Yeah, because it spreads around the modifier. So Robin says, I always have the round heads. You're right. I pre-cut the gels, fits perfect, and spread on background. Round head is really nice looking too. So if it's working for you, that's absolutely fine. Like I said, I definitely prefer to have the spread of the exposed bulb. So yeah, whatever works, for the style that you're after. Always check it. The S mount. Godox do a smaller version that looks exactly the same as the S mount, but it is a lot smaller. Got caught out by a hedge looking at the image. Really, Dave? Jesus Christ! Yeah, no, I've never. I've only ever bought strobes like this, so that they've always been the S fit. But what was it you bought then, Dave? Yeah, that's crazy. I'm serious, but I love them as a kit because you can mount to G mount. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll have a look at that. Yeah. Okay. Christ, we're getting really distracted, guys. We need to crack on. So Robin's, beautiful image, Robin. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by this one I took last March. I wish I noticed the hair on her shoulders when she was posing. We are collaborating again soon. Hair on her shoulders. Oh, what? This here? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would have noticed it unless you said. But then we're always very critical of our own work. Yeah, this is beautiful shot, Robin. Yeah, really well done. Gorgeous colours. Her hair looks amazing in this. Like, it almost looks like she's underwater. The hair is just falling beautifully. Is that just a fan, or have you pumped that up in with liquify and that sort of thing? But yeah, beautiful shot. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. I think you mentioned she threw on my wing. Nice. Yeah. It is fallen beautifully. Yeah. I think earlier on you said you were happy for feedback. So yeah, the only thing. Oh, where's my paintbrush? I'm just going to find my paintbrush. Where's my paintbrush? So the only thing just to be wary of is just the height of the light here. I just, because she's got her chin up like that, it's almost wants to be, maybe just a little bit higher, so that we're having more of a flattering light coming down on the face, just a touch. Okay. But I am nitpicking there. I'm just talking about for future. I don't think it affects the image here. I would just say for future, just try and have it just a little bit higher, just so the light's a little bit more flattering on some of the contours of the face here. It could just be that it's coming too far around. So look, this is a shot from above. This is the nose. So at the moment, I think your light is like maybe here. So what's happening is it's casting these shadows here because it's coming around from the side. So if you can maybe get away with it being that height, but bringing it just a touch further around, and that will help to get rid of these shadows here. I was just looking at it again and trying to work out why we have these pockets of shadows, and I think it may be just too far around to the side rather than just a touch more to the front. But beautiful image, yeah, beautiful image. You've done a really good job of actually getting as much light in here as you have done. I think sometimes it can be get quite muddy, especially when you have a heavy side light like that. But I think you've done a really nice job of getting a lot of data in the shadows here. So really nice. This is cool, Steve. I haven't seen this one. Yeah, I've seen this one. Yeah. Hey, no worries, Robin. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Yeah. I know that's the problem, Robin. Yeah, when you're trying to keep the colours separate, I can see what you were trying to do with that. You are right. As soon as you bring it around to the front, and it kind of washes out on that side. It is a tricky one. Yeah, it is a tricky one. Yeah. Yeah, this is cool, Steve. Yeah, this was mine. Joint effort between me and the model. This is awesome. Yeah, really nice. And yeah, not seeing this one in here. That's a really, is that, did you have that on set? That's an incredible detailed model if it is. Really cool. Yeah. And nice job with the lighting and the colors here as well. Again, with that nice, that warm sort of desert orange that we've got here, which is really cool. Done a really nice job with that. And again, I like the fact, even where it drops off to shadow here, immediately comes back into, the light. So we got a lot of data even in the background behind. So I think this is really cool. Yeah, and you done well to light the subject and R2-D2 if that's on set, which I'm sure it must be because the lighting looks bang on. If it isn't, then fair play. The reason I'm questioning is it on set because that looks an incredibly detailed model. That was all. Yeah, really cool. Yeah, nice. Oh, it is composition afterwards. Really? Fair play, man. You nailed that. Honestly, I was like, he's got a really expensive model there. Yeah, you nailed that. That looks legit. Like it was, like it's actually there. You've done a really good job of that. Yeah. Is that you, Steve? Are you roaring or not? Or you just know that was a comp? Yeah, really cool. Yeah, really cool. Oh, it is you there. I see you roaring down there. Nice. Okay. Yeah, really good job, man. Yeah, actually nailed that. Yeah, nice. And that goes to your point about, you said you were getting satisfaction through color grading afterwards. Yeah, you definitely combine those beautifully. Yeah, nice job. Yeah, no worries, Paulina. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for sharing that one, Steve. That's cool, man. Yeah, really cool. So Patty says, I have two favourites related to this one. Nice. I think I remember seeing this before, Patty. Yeah, I think you remember shared that one last time. And again, beautiful colours, really nice lighting on the skin here as well. None of these colours are blown out. Again, pink's very easy to be blown out. I know I've seen a lot of people sort of overpowering the the pinks, the bright pinks, and they can just get washed out. So you've done a really nice job balancing this, and just a really nice color palette overall. I love these this sort of colder color palettes, but as in like the colder tones, but at the same time still got the pinks and stuff in there. Pinks, blues, purples, really nice. Yeah, beautiful job. Yeah, really nice. Jonas says this is my favourite shot because it combines all of my skills: body painting, digital manipulation, lighting, and compositing. Yeah, exactly. So again, just those of us, building on new skills and ideas and techniques, and then like we pull off a shoot where it's kind of brings it all together, and they definitely mean something more to us than if this had more likes or something like that. So yes, it's cool that you're sharing this one, Jonas, as it means means something to you, and yeah, bringing all those skills into the final images a lot. So we got a lot going on here. I was just looking at, we got the toning with regards to the background added in, as well as the lighting on the subject, matching that. And you've done a pretty nice job of matching the colors here as well. Like I said, that like the background color as well as like the key light here, kind of nice. Yeah, really cool, really cool. Excellent stuff. Good luck with tying it all together in 2023, right? So this is Etienne's image here. Did you say you got an award for this one, Etienne? Is that right? Crucifixion, 2 sources. Oh, I don't know what it says. Can we? It doesn't translate to English, will it? No. Is it Google? Come on, I'll do it. No. I thought I did it earlier on, innit? Well, anyway. But yeah, really cool shot. I mean, really unique sort of image. I mean, she's obviously a unique looking young lady as well, and interesting choice that you chose to hide the face, which is cool, really, because it kind of makes it a little bit more timeless to a certain extent. I think certain images that can be timeless are nice, and like the face hidden sort of helps with that a little bit. And obviously the lighting is really nice, really strong directional lighting, and even beautiful shape and light and shadow on the legs and stuff here. Again, toning on the feet and legs here as well, really nice. And again, the colors, we've got obviously got the bronzed warmer skin tone, as well as the orangey red hair there as well, which is in beautiful contrast to the blues. So I think really nice. Yeah, really nice. And interesting that you chose to put it in a square as well. Yeah, really nice shot. I'm glad you won an award for it. Yeah, it's just sort of like the more that you look at it, I think it helps as well that she's got those tattoos, because it is a very clean, simple image to a certain extent, and then you have this very busy content on the subject. I think it's really cool. Yeah, nicely done. Yeah, good work, man. Good work. As Robin says, if you're in the US, I recommend Flashpoint 8200. Is literally the same thing as the Godox. It even works with Godox remotes. Godox literally, the US Flashpoint does. Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, lots of different countries. I forget. Like, I used to know a bunch of them, but so many different countries will just Godox will make you like the distributor in that one country. So Robin is absolutely right that Flashpoint is the one in the US, and Pixel is the one in the UK, but it's all under the Godox banner. It's kind of interesting that in recent months we've started to see Godox be more vocal with their branding, because I think years ago they sort of took a little bit of a back seat with their branding, and they just let other countries do it. For example, this year at the photo show, I was on the Pixel stage doing demos and stuff, and Godox actually wanted their branding underneath the Pixel logo and stuff. So they're starting to push their Godox brand more now, and I'm sure we'll start to see more and more of Godox being the umbrella now. I mean, because like pretty much all of us know that it was by Godox, and I think that years ago they were sort of hiding away from the it's just a cheap Chinese lighting manufacturer, and I think they were very smart, really, in hindsight, by going, look, Flashpoint, this is the US distributor, Pixel this is the UK distributor, you take that, we don't have to worry about anything, we're just making the lights, jobs are good. But I think we're starting to see more and more Godox branding actually being pushed. So it'll be interesting to see if Flashpoint and Pixel carry on their names. I'm sure they will, but it's just interesting to see them change. here we go, Darius shot. I remember this one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My own style, half circle light painting. My own style in brackets. Yeah, really. I mean, I remember seeing this originally earlier on in 2022, Darius, and yeah, I remember, you know, at the time, absolutely incredible image, absolutely, yeah, absolutely beautiful shot, really, really eye-catching from a distance as well. I know you do, mate. I know you got a lot of similar shots, but that's right. I mean, you know, I think this type of shot you managed to get with that reflection. Remind me again, what is that floor? Is it like a painted floor, or is it actually like black perspex, or what is that floor made of to make it such a mirror like that? But yeah, no, I think one thing that I like about these shots is that they're really eye-catching and bold from a distance. You know, like you can see this, and you really want to, you know, what's going on there, and then you're drawn into this extra sort of detail of the model. Like it's the lighting catches your eye first, and then we have this extra sort of layer of detail from the model being lit in the foreground as well. So really cool image. Yeah, and again, you know, gorgeous light on that model thanks to that beautiful, you know, circle of light that you've crafted with the long exposure. Gorgeous shot. Yeah. I loved it then, still love it now, man. Yeah. Just typical glossy 4. Yeah, I mean, it works really well. I was just wondering, because you've got these like sort of steps here of you got these weird sort of steps of light here. I was like trying to work out what was that, or is it just tiles or something like that? Yeah, really cool, man. Yeah, always enjoy seeing those, buddy. Yeah. Oh, really, Polina? Quadralight, is that right? Didn't know that one. Okay. Whereabouts is that, Polina? Where is Quadralight? Yeah. Thanks for the great feedback on the image, Jake. I felt it was a great image, but the feedback from sites like PP, etc., have not been as good. I haven't been on Purpleport for a while, man. What's it like over there? Is it still a bit? I found it a little bit middle-aged white man centric. You know, look, nothing against middle-aged white men, but it did feel a little bit like, Jesus Christ, guys, can you just put it in your pants for a second? Yeah. But, you know, obviously there is still some incredible images on there for sure. Yeah. But good if tiles are big. Yeah, less. Okay, so it is tiles. Yeah, nice. Cool, man. Cool. So Tammy, always love seeing her work, and she's posted this one, probably this self-portrait. Tammy, if you guys are new, Tammy's been, you know, sharing her self-portraits for a long time now, and it's always incredible to see what she gets, because, you know, photography and lighting is hard enough as it is without having to worry about the model being you at the same time. So always amazed at what Tammy manages to create. And this is, you know, again, I remember seeing a previous image from this set, so it's always nice to see more of this. And I do like the colors that we got here. They're very vintage. Is, you know, I don't like using that word, but it does have that sort of nostalgic sort of vibe with the colors, which I really liked. You know, the skin is that kind of browny color, you know, almost not faded, but yeah, it just works really well. Yeah, thanks for sharing that on, Tammy. Yeah, look forward to seeing more self-portraits in 2023. So I haven't seen this one before. This one's from Anna. This one I like the color combo. Always wondering how to avoid strange colors in the eyes while using gels. Always wonder how to avoid strange color. Do you know, it's never something that I have considered. Yeah, never something that I've. Is that something that you've found, Anna? If I'm right in thinking, Anna does a lot of newborn baby and sort of maternity type shots. So she's adding a lot of these color gelled and lights with maternity and newborns and that sort of stuff, which is awesome. You know, it's absolutely nuts to do a lot of this lighting to begin with, but doing it with, you know, real people who may be self-conscious as well is, yeah, really love seeing these, especially when you see color gels on maternity shots like this, which is something that can be a little bit daunting for some mothers to be, who are like, oh, I've just seen black and white silhouette shots online of bump pictures. That's kind of what I like. So Anna's been striving to push something a little bit more creative for them, and the images that she produces are awesome. So and again, looking at the quality of the light shaping on the skin here, beautiful highlights dropped off into shadow, beautiful tonality in the gels here, gorgeous toning, and gorgeous colors being brought out here. Really nice. Yeah, I know this little star thing has been added in post, but I think it kind of get away with it with the composition. Yeah, it's interesting. I've never had anybody. Also, Anna's saying, hi. Yes, sometimes I find strange having purple or red or pink eyes. It's never something that has crossed my mind. I think mainly because the rest of the image is or are those colors, so it's never really been something that has been an issue. But yeah, so it's honestly, in all the years I've been using colored lights, never once has anybody said, "Oh, my eyes are a funny color" or something like that, or I've never thought the eyes are off. But I mean, you're absolutely right. They definitely would be, like the catch lights in the eyes would be orange or blue or something like that. But yeah, it's not something that bothers me. Yeah. Quadrilight is the Poland and Czech Republic and Germany, I think. Really? Okay, that's cool. Interesting. Yeah, I will actually have a look later. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I find like Quadrilight rings a bell, but never really put two and two together. Interesting. Thank you for that, Anna. Yeah, beautiful image as always. Gorgeous seeing these. Yeah. Nigel's back. Been a long time, mate. Been a long time. So after a pretty prolonged absence from both shooting and travelling, I finally managed to make it back over to Tokyo after almost 3 years of closed borders and pull off a shoot with a model that I've been trying to schedule for about 5 years now. Yeah. It's been a rough few years, man. No doubt. Actually, I think I'm going the opposite way to you, Jay. I started out doing street shoots with LED ones, but for this trip I spent a lot of time experimenting with gelled on-camera flash, using a bracket to get the flash head right next to the lens and shifting the white balancing camera to get the red-green opposites and hint of the old sodium lights. Gotcha. Okay, so this is being pushed with. So what Nigel's saying here is that this color in the background, he hasn't done this in post. He's doing that with the white balance in his camera. So I'm guessing he would have pushed the the tint in this so that so we get these greens coming out, and then he's adding gels on camera, and I think it works. I think it works, Nigel, and I think maybe it's a sign of the times, right? I think these things are cyclical, right? We see how many shots on Instagram did we see of the the LED ones, somebody leaning against like a neon sign in a window and that sort of stuff, and I think that you're just moving past that and trying something else. I think it's cool, man, and loving the idea of color blocking with white balance, something that I always love to play with. If I'm doing a shoot outdoors in natural light, I will do what Nigel's doing here, push the actual background into a more of an even tone with white balance, and that way it just makes your subject stand out even more. So yeah, I love this, man. Definitely very pleased to hear that you're back to traveling and shooting again. I know that you were and have been passionate about it for a long time, but not seeing any images from yourself in almost years was certainly concerning for sure. Anyway, we'll have to grab a beer when you're back to the land of drizzle, mate, and it'd be good to catch up. Been a long time. You accidentally added the star. Are you kidding, Anna? That's hilarious. That's brilliant. So you mean you accidentally added that star? Really? No. What do you mean accidentally? Is that because is that a grad, right? You just did that. I think there's a star grad that you can do. That's funny though. That's funny. Look, I think you get away with it. Yeah. Hey Nigel, I'm glad you're still in here, mate. I didn't realise you were actually watching. I know you posted an image. Yeah. Yes, for example, Quadrilight 600 cents. Okay, cool. I've always wanted to try green gel on face for sunset portraits. Okay, so what would that do? So you put the green gel on the subject, you make them green, or are you shifting that in some way? Yeah. Let's have a look. I missed some comments back here. 2 seconds. The comments here in the photos here in the comments are always awesome. I know, yeah. Like the caliber of work being shared here is absolutely nuts. Yeah. You guys keep me on my toes, that's for sure. Bastards. Dave says, check out a guy called Tom Hill. His light painting is on them. Oh, okay, I'll have a look. Yeah, thanks for that, Dave. I will do. Yeah, not heard of him. Yeah. I use the 8600 Pros. I feel like they can compete with other brands at much higher. Oh, for sure, Simon. Yeah, like I said, Flash is Flash, right? It travels in a straight line. It's still traveling at the same speed. It really, like all the other stuff, is really just giving you quality of life, right? It's just giving you quality of life for, like high speed sync, or having the ability to adjust it from your camera. But you don't, like I learned for 10, 15, damn near 20 years without anything like that. Yeah. Sorry, I will check the stream. Where is it? It says it's been good, man. It says it's been okay. Yeah. Sorry if it is dropping in and out though. I find strange having purple pink. I have no worries yet. Got to make these. Let's have a look. Right. Let's have a look. Who's up next? Madiha? I apologise for butchering your name. Madiha? Anyway, more about the image, isn't it? Yeah, this is really cool though. Yeah, really cool. And it's kind of got this reflection here in the foreground. It's kind of nuts, in the puddle. And this is a technique that you don't see people doing too often, but like in movies they do it all the time. So in movies they'll literally just have a guy who drives a truck around spraying water on the roads and stuff to give more atmosphere in the shots, especially at night, right? You're going to see more reflections and that sort of thing. The other reason why movies do it is for continuity. So like if they're shooting like a driving scene at night and it's they're going to be shooting it over the period of like 5 to 10 days, or one night it could rain. So like the previous night it was like we were shooting it all in its dry weather, and then the next night it rains. They're like, well, we're buggered, we can't shoot tonight. So often films will spray the roads and the environments with water, so that they're not worrying about, well, if it rains tomorrow, that's one less job. But it is really interesting. You can do it. You can bring like a bottle of water or something like that, or anything to really get water on the road to add some of this interest in the foreground, especially at night. This is a really cool shot, especially with these lights in the background, and we've got this pink here just on the edge. Actually got a lot of data in this image for a nighttime shot, and again, really interesting angle down super low. Looking into the shot with these converging lines. I actually really like this. I will just mention one thing that I heard that is kind of funny. I saw a Facebook group the other day, and I just find it funny because some of the rules for some of the photography groups are priceless. And I do screenshot them occasionally. But one of the rules for this group was no photos to include train tracks. and it's obviously just it's just one of those like photography cliches that they're like, you know what, enough is enough. If I see one more model photographed on the train tracks with converging lines, so they literally just like, you know what, we're just banning it. No more images of people standing on train tracks. I just found it this shot is absolutely fine, by the way. It just reminded me of the converging lines. It's funny. Like some of the rules in some of these groups are priceless. Oh, it's another beautiful shot. Yeah, another beautiful shot. Yeah. We'll only be looking at one today, Anna, as we've got a lot of images to get through. But wow, this young lady is very heavily pregnant, bless her. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful shot though. Love the love this like sort of powdery pastel pink back there though. Gorgeous how it picks up on the gold. Really, really nice. Yeah, and again picks up on the gold body paint. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, really nice. Oh, okay, Dave. No worries. Yeah, all good, mate. Yeah. Quite possibly a danger thing these days. Oh, it's true, mate. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I presume Nigel's talking about train tracks, but I mean, you could be right. Maybe they're like, look, if you wanna set somebody on fire and photograph it, that's fine, but it's too dangerous to stand on train tracks. We will not allow it. It's irresponsible. I'm fairly confident that they were just like, we're just sick and tired of seeing train track shots. And Dave's saying train tracks in the US at least are private property. Really? Oh, it's interesting, Dan. Train tracks in the US are private property, so by nature all photos are illegal and quasi-dangerous would be my guess. Interesting. Maybe you guys are right. Maybe I'm just being a grumpy old git and was like, yeah, do you know what? I'm going to ban black and white shots and train track shots. Yeah. Was actually chatting to a train driver on the way back who mentioned it. What, really, Nigel? What do you mean? Mentioned what? That he's actually seen a bunch of people photographing on the lines. Is it really that popular? Really? Jesus, I've never done a train track shot. I must be missing out. So Dan says, this is probably one I'm most proud of from this year as my composite work. I tend to have trouble achieving that wow factor. I'm not sure if it's a concept of greatest area of contrast. I have never heard of GAC before, Dan. Too many colors, too few colors or ratios, but some just feel noisy and don't pop. This shot, everything seemed to come together. Not the trick is to figure out what the heck I did and why it works. Okay. So let me just skim read that again. It comes to I tend to have trouble achieving that wow factor. I'm not sure if it's greatest area of contrast. Okay. Too many colors, too few colors, or ratios, but some feel too noisy and don't pop. Okay. I think it's and obviously I can't speak for composites, right? I can't, and a lot of my work is very heavily focused on the subject, and the background literally takes a backseat in the image itself. Whereas a lot of composites that I've seen tend to have this kind of dissonance that doesn't sit well with me, in that the subject is in focus and their background is in pin sharp focus as well. So like here, for example, we'll have, like the hand is maybe not quite as sharp as the face, yet again the background will be in pin sharp focus as well. So it's kind of this dissonance that I get when I see composite images that doesn't sit well with me personally, right? And that's not to say that you can't do this at all. It's just something that I've kind of noticed. And I think sometimes we've got to pick a lane to a certain extent, and if we're going to be doing images like this, then maybe we need to shoot our subjects at like f11, right? We've got to make sure that our subject is all in focus, right? We've got to make sure that like the nose, the ears, everything's in focus, right? You look at somebody like, what's his name, Joel Grimes, so he does some of those composites. I'm thinking about the right guy, yeah? He does like sports composites, yeah? And they look legit, right? And not only does it look legit because the lighting kind of echoes the flat lighting behind the subject, and he does that as part of his style, like this almost like HDR type of style, but really the background feels like it sits behind the subject as well. So that's just me, and whether you find that useful or not as well, but the lighting can also be mismatched as well. So how do we tie the lighting in the background to the subject? And again, this is why Joel Grimes' images are so powerful, is that those almost HDR backgrounds and the edge lighting that he has on his subjects, even though they're composites, kind of works, right? Because it feels like there's so much light coming from the background behind them, even though it's kind of not. But it's because of their HDR background look that it kind of feels like there's light back there, hence why the edge lighting works so well on his shots. So he's tying the two things together. Now, I'm not saying you need to use him as an example, but I am saying that with composites and that sort of thing, and especially with work like this where we're trying to tie multiple elements together, that may be why some things aren't resonating with you. In some images, like you may be bouncing off certain images because they just don't feel like they're gelling, as it were. Seeing a teen girl die sat on the line, really? Jesus, Nigel, that is fucking hell. That is okay. That is rough, man. Yeah. So guys, I'm banning train track shots from now on. It's just not worth it. I don't make the rules. Nigel does. That is rough, man. Yeah. I mean, tube drivers suffer with that. I don't know whether you were talking to a tube driver or not, but I remember whoever I was. I remember it coming up about like the amount of time that they have to give off tube drivers for obviously the amount of people they hit on the tubes is more than you'd expect. And it says, thanks Jake, do you recommend lights from your last presentation for small spaces? I don't have enough space for umbrellas. Do you recommend this light from your last presentation for small spaces? I don't have enough space for umbrellas. Not sure what you mean, my last presentation for small. Do you mean like the workshop we did with so the workshop that we did on big studio lighting and small spaces? What lights do I recommend? You don't have room for umbrellas? Really? You must do. Isn't it? You must have room for umbrellas. The light's facing back into the room, so you can put the umbrella right up against the wall. You must have room for umbrellas. Yeah. Funniest comment I ever had in a group was about a radiator being in shot of an image led me to shooting a whole series of images, always with a He's such a troll, man. You shouldn't wind them up. So an ultimate goal would be to account for focal plane. I actually took Joe Graham's class as my fire lesson in photography. Okay, so you're familiar with his work. Yeah. That's for me, Dan. Yeah, that's one of the things that sort of sticks out to me is I see people shooting like their subjects f2.8 or f4, and then the background is in focus as well. So you have this, sections of the subject out of focus and then in focus. It just feels off to me. Yeah. Great one in a camera club years ago. I was asked about avoiding black spots on negatives. What? So highlights then, yeah? So catch lights. I was drawn to composite as I can make almost anything from my computer without having time to get location shoot. Yeah, it makes sense, Dan. Yeah, absolutely makes sense. Yeah. I mean, you're obviously looking in the right places. I would say Joel Grimes does a really good job of it. I think I'm not a huge fan of composites myself, but I think he strikes a nice balance between being practical, achievable for most people, kind of looking stylized, but without being too fake, which I think is a nice compromise. Yeah. I replied, use a water filter. Tog asked me, do I put that on my camera or enlarger? Jesus Christ. Girlfriend's trying to place your accent. What region of the UK are you from? I am from Cornwall, so down south. Yeah. I don't think I have got a Cornish accent, because the Cornish accent is proper farmer Giles, like that. We talk like that, don't there? But I don't talk like that. Definitely practically being racist there, but you get my point. I got a new sub for my computer. She could tell it was you 2 rooms away. You saying is your girlfriend saying I've got a nice deep voice, Dan? Is that what she's saying? My studio is just a tiny room, so really struggling, and I saw some videos you have done where only small round shaped lights you have used. Okay, Anna. Yeah, so it's an interesting point, actually. It's something that I hadn't really thought of, Anna, but yes. So the lights that I was using was rotor lights, which are the round lights. So yes, they would. Yeah, that's an interesting interesting topic that you bring up, in that you don't need any room for those, right? You don't need any modifier or anything like that. So those round rotor lights is what they're called, EOS 2s. Good spelling, Jake. I recommend the EOSs and not the Neos, but yeah, I mean these, like, yeah. So those are yeah, they're a decent size, and you can use them in any. I mean, you use them in a corridor. Yeah, it's interesting actually. Yeah, that is an interesting bonus of the rotor lights. You don't need to worry about like a modifier with that. Yeah. EOS 2s. Yeah. What is all that crap? Do I need that? But yeah, I absolutely recommend them a lot. I mean, I've used them in recent months more and more than Flash, because you can just use any color you want. So they are very, very flexible. Yeah. Woke her up. Look, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Just leave it there. Just say hello to her for me. And I've been using the Neo 3s a lot in my living room. Oh, there you go. See, Dave's using the smaller versions of the EOS. The reason I recommend the EOS is because you've got a larger surface area. I know they're more expensive than the Neos, and I appreciate not everybody can afford the EOS 2s, but if you can hang on and save up a little bit extra and get the EOSs, the larger surface area is going to be hugely beneficial in the quality of light you get. Yeah. I can see your comment now, Vlad, but that is the first time I've seen your comment. You may have been well, I'm waving back to her then. Yeah. Were you talking about black and white, Vlad? Because you do get shadow banned if you mention black and white in your comments. You should know that by now. Right, let's crack on here. Let's have a look. Oh, there's another one from Patty. Thank you. Yeah, we already had a look at one of yours, Patty. So if you don't mind, we're gonna carry on looking at these images from others. This is cool. So Mike's sharing a shot here, still trying to get that feel to the image as well as a technical color. This is really nice. Yeah, really nice image. And I think I understand what you're saying about get the feel to the image. And this is something that we're seeing more and more of now in. So I'm just laughing at Vlad's comment. So we're seeing more and more of this sort of atmospheric style coming through now. Under the guise of the cinematic look that we see, and this is very prevalent in all the Netflix shows that are coming out now. And I'm a little bit late to the party on this, but watching the show on Amazon Prime, Picard. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name then. And you look at the volumetric lighting in there, where you have this sense of depth thanks to this kind of smoky atmospheric vibe. Beautiful lighting in that show. If you haven't seen it, I'm not a Star Trek fan, and my wife knows nothing about Star Trek, so you can still watch it even if you know nothing about Star Trek. Very, very good. So this is, and I presume that's what you're saying about trying to get that feel in the image. And you can use filters. I use a low contrast filter from Lee, which I love, but Black Pro Mist is another one. I think you can get, the Cine Bloom is another one. There's tons of filters that you can put on your lens to give your sort of atmosphere to a shot. Yeah. Another way is to have the haze machine, which is what I've done in the past. Yeah, so haze machine will add that to your image. Just give the room time, or the haze time, to settle in the room. You can get a lot of interesting looks with that. So I think, and I would say that you pulled it off here. I feel like you've got that atmospheric shot here for sure. Yeah, very, very cool. Yeah, really nice. Yeah. Here he is, look. So Vlad says, had to be a selfie, so let it be the most recent one. It's like the previous one shot through wet glass, but with what I consider to be a much better color grade and story. Okay. Amazing, mate. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Love this. So, those of you who don't know, Vlad, regular in here, usually posts images. Again, he's been experimenting with this cinematic style of lighting, whether that be like the wide frames here, or lens artifacts. We can see we have some sort of swirling bokeh effect going on here. And what he's saying here is, for this shot, is that he's got water on glass in front of the lens, and he's shooting through that. A very cool technique to play with. And look, like you can see that I presume you've got the tube here off to the left. Is that a tube, Vlad? If you don't mind me asking, Vlad, what LED tubes are you using? I had an idea for a shoot, but I didn't particularly want to buy super expensive LED tubes. I just wanted to, as I was looking around for cheap LED tubes, but I mean, they're not super cheap, are they really? I don't think I've got it. I thought I had a window up with tubes that I'd kept, but I haven't. Yeah. If anybody knows of any cheap LED tubes, or inexpensive LED, or even cheaper LED tubes, then I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts. I know they're coming out. People are like, oh yeah, these are really cheap tubes, and they're like 6 inches long. It's like, yeah, no, that's not really the money saving technique I was after. But this is a really cool, beautiful shot, Vlad, as always. Yeah, and I agree. I mean, this is. I mean, I loved your previous image, but this definitely feels finished now, for sure. More finished than it was before. Again, I like your mention of the story, and definitely feels like we are experiencing you being taken away somewhere with this book. So I think it works really well. Yeah, really, really nicely done. Beautiful. And again, yeah, nice colors for sure. My new year, new me thing is to try and shoot less obviously posed portraits. I'm going for cinematic, and in the movie the actors are always doing something, not posing for camera. Yeah. I mean, if you're after that cinematic look, then yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Have you seen the recent work by Chris Knight, Vlad? I was chatting to him the other day, months ago actually, when he was working on his anamorphic lens that he made, and he's done some beautiful sort of cinematic portraits recently. Gorgeous work. I mean, he's cheating using a Fuji GFX, but I mean, it all helps. Let me just see. Hey, no worries, Darius. You have a good one, buddy. Yeah, see you next time. I'm just joining late. I've been doing electrical work till now at my prac. Comments didn't show up. Oh, no worries, buddy. No worries. Robin says I bought a hazer. Nice. I love my hazer. I do get carried away with it. I need to rein myself in. But yeah, UV filter and a bit of black spray paint on a poor man's promise. So it might have been you that shared that with me. But yeah, black spray paint on a UV filter is. I think it probably was you that showed me that YouTube video, right? But yeah, I haven't done that. But it's an interesting idea. Really interesting idea. I don't know. I mean, I use hairspray for more of a for more diffusion, but I presume the black version that you're talking about here is a little bit more subtle and even more diffused. Yeah. Oh, Vlad, you have to tell me on oh, now I'm really interested, Vlad. You using cheap tubes? How are you doing that? Yeah. Buy a strip of RGB LED and an opaque tube. Run any color you like through it. So what I did in order to get the cheap LED to play with them, buy the LED non-tubes that are replacements for normal tubes. What? So what I did in order to get cheap LED to play with is to buy the LED non-tubes that are replacements for normal. What do you mean? So is it the same as what Dave's saying here? Just buy an opaque tube. Yeah. And then run. Okay. All right. Okay. See, I was looking at that on Amazon. I was looking at these opaque tubes, and I was worried about can you get enough power, like through them, as in the LEDs? Are they actually bright in any way? I suppose if I mean, it doesn't matter if you got to shoot ISO 400, not the end of the world, is it? Hey, no worries, buddy. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Whereabouts are you based then, Roaring? Yeah. Yeah, no worries. Catch you next time. Yeah. All right, guys. I might have to have a look at that LED thing because I looked at that. I mean, this was years ago. I looked at it because I mean, those things you can see above me there, they're just those blue things. They're just blue. They're just cheap blue tubes, cheap LED in white opaque tubes back there. I had those for years, and I was like, I mean, I almost threw them out. But all right, maybe I'll give it another look. Yeah. LED replacements for fluorescent tubes. They are very bright. Can cover them with gels. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Sorry, my brain was just thinking then. Yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe I'll have another look. Yeah. I was just always, like I said, I did look a long time ago. Maybe they are bright enough now. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. I might have to pick some of your brains on that. All right, guys. Let's just wrap this section up here before I go over my 2023 exercise for you. But I mean, incredible images. It really. I know I say this every time, but obviously we're looking at the best of the best now. I mean, these images. I mean, we've got competition winners in here, for Christ's sake. We literally have competition winning images in here. So, some of the work being shared here is sensational. I mean, it really is incredible work. You guys have done phenomenal jobs, and I know some of you have been in here for years, and it's great to see the improvements that you guys have made over that time, and even in 2022. Vlad is improving so much that he's actually sharing his best image at the end of the year, unlike us who've been sharing images at the start of the year and not getting better. So fair play to those of you that shared images from the last half of 2022. Unlike me. But yeah, incredible work. Yeah, absolutely incredible work, guys. Always an absolute pleasure seeing these. So yeah, thank you for that. Before we go though, I just want to have a chat about where and how we focus on moving forward this year. And look, long-time viewers here will have heard me talk about this technique before. So this is something that I do. I mean, I do this exercise with my one-to-ones online with students. It's always been beneficial for them, and I still do it myself, right? So this is not something that I just go, oh, this is cool, yeah, these guys will love this. This is something that I actually practice myself, and it can really help to focus your vision and style, photographic style. You hear photographers talking about, oh yeah, you really need a photographic style, and that's what changed my life. Everybody online always says that, talk about photographic style, but nobody really gives you any practical advice as to how to achieve that. And for me, I think this exercise that I'm going to go through here helps you to focus that. All right. So where did I put it? I purposefully bookmarked it. Where is it? Did I not? I'll have to find it on my website. Is it? Oh, here we go. I see. You guys thought I wasn't prepared. Yeah. So have a look at this. Right. I'm going to go through it now, but have a look at this. Let's have a look. So what is this? I wrote this years ago, but it's the start of the year is always a good chance to retarget what you're after. And really, I mean, we can see it here, back in 2003, this is the sort of images I was taking, 2009, 2013, 2017, right? So, it's kind of been, how do we get from here to there, right? By all means, read this. It's just really talks about how important it is for us to have this overarching vision or style as creatives, right? You can sell your images cheaply, but there's always going to be somebody who's going to sell your images or sell their images cheaper than you. In fact, you can go online now and look at wedding photographers that will shoot your wedding for free. Terrifying as that is, but there's always going to be somebody cheaper than you. So we can't really just be cheaper and be successful, right? The other thing is that we can't just be really good, right? It's not just enough anymore just to be really good. And you may think, well, that seems a bit strong, Jane. Surely if I watch all the YouTube videos and read all the Reddit blogs, surely I'll be good, and that's all I need, right? It's kind of a grey area, and the reason I say that is because you can be the best footballer in the world because you can prove that you can score the most goals. You can be the best Formula 1 driver in the world because you can prove that you can go around the track faster than anybody else, right? These are tangible results that are easy to sell. For us as creatives, it becomes very, very difficult, right? Because there are plenty of people out there who think my work is absolutely terrible. I wouldn't spend any money on that, right? And that's fine. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to create something unique, right? And once you create something unique, then you're able to sell it, and it becomes more tangible for people. So it's not about making something generic, which is what we see on, Instagram, right? We see a lot of generic profiles on Instagram, and that's totally fine. I liken it to McDonald's, right? We all love McDonald's, right? But it's not particularly memorable, and it's not particularly amazing, but we love, we love it for what it is, and we all consume it, but, it's not going to, I have no memory of the last meal or any food from McDonald's, right? But I went out for a fantastic meal with my wife just before Christmas, and it's memorable, right? This is what I'm trying to say, is that we're trying to create something tangible and saleable, especially for our clients. And as soon as you start to do that, then you can start to charge money for it because nobody else is doing that. We start to see it in Vlad's work there. He's definitely got this defining style that is really starting to come out of his work now. There's loads of other people on there, here on the page, that we're starting to see more and more of that style coming out now. And that happens the more and more we shoot. So how do we really get there? So one way that we get there is to understand what we as individuals, love and appreciate in images, right? So how do we translate what we love into our own work? And it's totally fine when we're starting out to go onto YouTube and look up lighting techniques and that sort of stuff and play around and learn from those other people sharing those techniques, and that's really cool. When you take some cool images and everybody's happy, that's great. And you're learning techniques, that's totally fine. What we kind of want to try and do as time goes on is we kind of want to sort of target focus more of what's important to us and our style, right? How do we zone in on that? And one way to do that is to be more cognitive of the images that we're looking at and enjoying. And this is something that all of us have preferences for. I use this here as an example. So you can show these 3 images to absolutely anybody and they will have a favorite image, right? You can do it with children, right? Everybody has a preference, and this is the first key in understanding our own personal style, is understanding our preferences, right? So I can show you these 3 images, and I'm sure everybody will choose a different image, right? Or lots of people will choose different images. Not everybody is going to pick one image as their favorite. Okay, so this is us understanding that we have a personal taste at its base form, right? Now, the trick is, the next step from that is understanding why. Okay, I like this image the best. Okay, I need to try and understand why I like that image the best. Okay, and this is what you guys need to get into the habit of doing, is looking at images and then trying to understand why you prefer one image over another. Okay, and the way that we do that is to translate what's in that image to actual actions, right? So whether it be, or I really like the color combination, I like the dynamic pose, I like the fact that like the composition, I like the fact that there is an environment and a story, you know, in this shot compared to these shots. You know, understanding these base principles of an image will then enable you to start adding these into your own images, right? So one thing, and I'm, so this is I went back to the favorite images that I loved in the early 2000s, right? So when I came out of art college, like, this is the sort of work that I was looking at. It was the work of we got brain went blank then, Nadav Kanda here, we've got Nick Knight, absolutely incredible, and I think Bruno Diane in here. So like this is the imagery that I was inspired by 20 plus years ago. Okay, and it's kind of weird because I did this when I was writing this. I did this in retrospect, right? So I went back and looked at the images that I was looking at, and it is kind of interesting to see some of the images coming out of this, you know, years and years later, that obviously I was inspired by. You know, like the blurring here. You know, we got the colored spot behind, like this. I even did a shot like this earlier this year. So you know, we can definitely take inspiration all the time, and it might not emerge until, you know, months or years later, but it is there. So these are the images that I was loving 20 years ago. So like I said, the trick really here is to try and break these down. Like, what is it about these images that, you know, that I like? You know, what is it about them? Like the movement, you know, the expression, the interest in the camera techniques, like the color grade. You know, what is it about these images that triggers me in picking these images out, right? Bruno Diane, a gorgeous, you know, color palettes that he uses, you know, almost like these metallic-y colors that he uses, you know, beautiful shots. And Nick Knight, an absolute legend. I mean, arguably one of the greatest photographers to have ever lived in my book. And he was doing this stuff in the 80s, which is nuts, absolutely, on film, which is just mind-blowing. You know, the guy was so far ahead of his time. It's a shame he's doing it in NFTs now, but, you know, it is what it is. Like, you know, this is just like the work that he was doing back then, but really bold, striking colors. Absolutely, you know, and I was always drawn to that. So taking these images then and extracting these elements, what we can then do is try and you know, pick out common denominators throughout these shots. So just circling some of the common tropes within these images. We got color, sense of movement, expressive posing, contrast, themed palettes, saturation, that sort of thing. So just taking some of these elements, some of these triggers, right? And it's then these sort of 4 to 6 kind of triggers, if you like, or defining elements that we then need to take and put into our own images. Okay, so if I start to shoot images with a sense of movement and expressive posing and, you know, color contrast in it, like it should be obvious that I'm gonna love the images that I'm taking, right? Because these are the types of elements that I love in my own, I love in other people's work. So if I start to consciously inject it into my new work moving forward, I'm obviously gonna be over the moon with it, right? And this is how we can start to develop a personal style, step by step, like this, breaking down what elements do you like, putting it into your own image. This is not about copying, okay? Look, I don't have any problem with that. We all copy to learn. That's absolutely fine. But we want to take it beyond that. We want to look at the individual elements of these images and start bringing them into our own shots and combining them. And it's by doing that we'll start to create something new that's personal to us, hence a personal style. So this is a really useful exercise to do. And like I said, I've done it I've done it loads with people over the years. I'm not gonna name names of these are some mood boards from some of the students that I've worked with in some of my online sessions, online one-to-ones. I'm not going to name them, but I just want to show you some of the examples that we've gone through with them. So I mean, this work here, this is the mood board that I asked this person to work on. They went away, basically get 20 images, and then what we do is we break those 20 images down and like try and extract elements, that like recurring elements within those images, and then we try and put those into our own shots. So here we can see this person, huge fan of obviously high fashion, right? This is this sort of this is the like the definition of like the high fashion style stuff here. Very big budget stuff, but very graceful as well. A lot of flowing lines here, a lot of softer elements with these. Where the hell's my mouse gone? There it is. Softer elements with these flowers and stuff. And also looking at the colors, we have a really strong sense of sort of reds and blues here. Now it's it's when we start to collate these images and look at them, step back from them and look at them, we can go, this person who's bringing all these images together is strongly drawn to these reds and blues, right? So that for me is going to be an immediate win in terms of, okay, you want to start looking at where we can add reds and blues into your images. You're obviously drawn to that sort of thing. We're also looking at very dynamic posing as well, right? This sort of angular poses. Yeah. How can we start to bring that into the shots? Okay. So yeah, this was an interesting mood board. Beautiful imagery at work here. Again, very high fashion style shots, but certainly doable. Just breaking some of the elements down. This is another one here. So we've got. Let's have a look at some of the images here. So you'll see that my images have been included in a lot of these. I don't know whether people are just doing that to be polite, or whether they do truly love the images. But so that's why you'll see a bunch of my images in here. But again, like we have, looking at all these images, what can we take from these shots and try and implement in our own work, right? So here we have, looking at the poses that this person is drawn to. Like the poses are a little bit more demure, a little bit softer, right? A lot of softer, more delicate placement. A lot of the times even looking up, heavenly with the eyes closed and that sort of thing. So a lot of delicate posing compared to like the high fashion, very dynamic posing that we were looking at before. So for this person, that's something that I would recommend you start playing with. Think about delicate posing. What can we use in terms of the hands and like the facial expressions? What can we do with when you're working with your model? How can you incorporate that into your shots? Color as well. Like I said, like my work stands out here a little bit, but like if we ignore my work there for a little bit, we can see that the colors that this person likes is a little bit more muted overall. We have a lot of muted tones in some of these images. It's not, apart from up here, it's very muted tones. So my advice here was to, think about that. Do you want to go down the route of this bold, saturated colors, or the majority of these images are a little bit more muted? Are you drawn to the softer, delicate blues and browns, yellows? Is that something that you wanna look at a little bit more? So I think once you get into the habit of looking at these and breaking these down, it will become easier, right? Again, this is one that was from a little while ago now, but again, looking at these images. So a lot of these, has that Instagram style, right? That Instagram vibe that we spoke about, where, and this, like I said, this is a little bit dated now. So like these are orange and blues, I think were a little bit more, interesting years ago than they are now. But again, like looking at the tonality, you know, a lot of these images have this Instagram color palette, very clean color palette, almost really strongly defined as two colors. Okay, nothing wrong with that at all. But even like down here, the pinks and the soft greens, or the blues and the yellows here, or like the orange and blues here, like the yellow and orange here. Okay, so really like two-tone color grading here. Okay, cool. Okay, we can definitely do that. And the other thing that was you know, very striking with these was about the sort of work that this guy was doing was photographing models, but you know, he wanted to try and incorporate some element of story into it, right? It's not just like a studio shot like my work, which is right, stand there and let's blow the, you know, fan in your hair. Like he was trying to look at, so we got a lot of story going on here. As cliched as some of these stories may look, that's beside the point. The point is that there is still an element of story there, you know, whether it be sending a letter or making breakfast or, you know, selling lemonade, you know, Easter. Like the point was that there still was this sense of story there, and I think that came through in a lot of these shots. For me, the overarching thing here was the colors, like the duo grade sort of colors that we had. This one was really interesting because it was such a defined style already. Like this guy's work that he'd culminated was really bold and striking and almost very easy to decipher, right? Very super strong contrast in all of these shots. Very strong contrast. Very bold, striking colors, like sometimes very opposing colors as well. And again, that sense of maybe nostalgia with some of these colors feeling a little bit, you know, 70s and 80s, a little bit muted vintage style colors. So again, you know, easy to translate that into your own work, which he has done to incredible effect, you know. And it's, you know, it's interesting to look back at this from when we first did this to his work that he's producing now, and it's like, you know, you can see it's all in there. Yeah, it's all in there. It's nuts. Yeah, absolutely beautiful work that he's making now. So this one, again, more sort of muted. It looks like, is that Joel Grimes? It is Joel Grimes. Yeah. So again, you know, looking at these slightly cleaner shots. So the images that he's chosen, you've got Tim Tadder here again. Sports, very clean shooting photographer, very smooth colouring, like nothing too bold or clipped or anything like that. Very clean colours, clean lighting. When I say clean lighting, I mean like just long sections of light. He's not using a lot of spots, as it were. He's using a lot of very large modifiers to create these very clean, almost uncontrasty light. And in contrast to that, you know, like Joel's images here, very contrasty, like we mentioned before, with the side lights, right? Those edge lights. Is that what we're looking for? Having that almost muted, toned down sort of tones. Because even the work of Tim's here that he's shown, even though Tim does a lot of saturated images, the work that's been shown here is almost pastel-y, right? And the same with Joel's work, like desaturated to the point of black and white. But even in this color shot, very desaturated. And even some of my images here, like this, this is one of my images I shot, must have been 15 years ago, but again, muted, right? So easy to define. I'll just do one more here. This was one that I did recently. This guy put together these images, and we went through these. But you know, this was really striking. I mean, apart from the fact we got some like absolutely incredible shots here, but very easy to break this one down. You know, so many, all about those geometrics, right? It's just all of it, geometrics, just all these geometric shapes throughout. And even, you know, even here, like we got these, you know, triangles and that sort of thing. This Wacom tablet is not being very responsive. You know, even here we got lines and that sort of thing. But yeah, just very geometric shapes everywhere. And I pointed this out to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I hadn't really noticed that." And that's fine. That's what this is for. So very geometric shapes, and even down here, super geometric, right? And this again, geometrics. So he had inadvertently. I mean, even here as well. This is almost like Mondrian style. He had kind of unconsciously been drawn to these images, and he wasn't, and hadn't sort of seen that there was these similarities in these shots that he was loving. And again, like once you lay it out like this, is very easy to see. So like now, what I want you to do, I want you to go away and start using geometric shapes in your work. Whether that be with physical perspex shapes, or you're doing it with projectors, or you're doing it with actual furniture, real life objects, adding that into your work. And as soon as you start doing that, big shock, you're going to start loving your work a lot more. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that, and talk about that, because I think that it's something that we can all do. I did it last month. I spent an afternoon, a few hours, sat down, and I do a lot of it on Pinterest. Just go through there and pull together images, because it's very easy to get a mood board of images, right? And then I get all these images, just spend a couple of hours just pulling like 20-30 images together, something like that, and then just looking at that board. And then just sat there, just looking at that board and going, what are some of the things that I'm being drawn to here? Like, what are some of the, I'm not ready to share what that is just yet, but for me, looking at those things, it was like, okay, I can start to see some similarities in these images. How can I start to put that into my own work? I would highly recommend, you highly recommend that you do this yourself, play with it, see what comes out of it. Okay, you might not think that there's something there, but yeah, I promise you you will find some similarities in images that you love, and start bringing them in. Think about composition. Think about the camera angle. Where is the shooter sat? Like, think about the lens choice. Are they shooting a lot of wide angle lenses? Think about colors. Are you drawn to colder colors? Are you drawn to complementary colors? Think about the model. Like, are they doing a lot of dynamic poses? Are they doing very delicate poses? All of these things. Start writing some of these things down, and start having that in your mind's eye next time you do a shoot. Okay. Cool. Okay. Let's have a look where we got to, and I've just been ranting for 15 minutes. Some of these comments, man, I got to outrun a rainstorm. What did I miss? Okay. Oh, you're based in Dorset. Oh, okay. I know you've popped off now, but I'll have a look at that. Thank you. Yeah. I was talking about the LED tubes now. I need to chase that up. Yeah. If you can run an Arduino, can you basically make yourself a rotor light in strip form? What? An Arduino strip form? Okay. I mean, I guess. Are you talking about the changing, right? Changing of the colours and that sort of thing? I'm not sure what that is. No, you have to know what that is. Yeah. Rotolight AS2 would have the same effect as you show us with umbrellas. It's not going to be exactly the same, but you are going to get a very cleaner light, right? What I mean by that is you're going to have, it's not coming from a point, which is why I use an umbrella, is to spread the light over a larger area to avoid hotspots, which is what the AOS2 does. It eliminates the hotspots, which is why I love them. Yeah. And like Dave says here, they come with a diffusion dome, meaning you wouldn't need the umbrella. So Dave's absolutely right. When I use them, you probably, I don't know if you're still in chat, Anna, let me know and I'll show you a shot which I took with them. Yeah. Wibbly says, you're doing any in-person workshops this year? Yes, I am. I'm in the process of writing a brand new workshop. It is something that I've been lax on coming out of 2022. I need to get those sorted and I will do. Yeah, I'm in the process of writing something for Rotolight as well as my own new workshop as well. So yeah, I definitely will be this year. You spied Boris FX. You like them? I haven't actually used them, Dave. It's still from the previous stream, but I was very tempted after you guys spoke about it. Yeah. Favorite child. Yeah. Your images have been on my mood board since 2014. Really, Robin? That's nuts. That's crazy. Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah. Wow. Whew. Man, I feel old. Hey Sam, how you doing, mate? Dave shot an image in black and white. Right? Did you see that one? I was hoping I was going to squeeze that past you guys, but yeah. This was a million years ago. I think this one won a competition on Flern, if you can believe it. I was like, the one image that I take in black and white, and it immediately wins some competition. I was livid. Hey Tony, happy New Year, mate. How was the barbecue on Christmas Day? Hope you had a good one. Small programmable computer. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Can program RGB LEDs that can control via your phones, change colours. Okay. It's nuts, man. And you guys were saying this is all dirt cheap as well. Good learning programming for wiring tool, but a bit of a learning curve. Great, that's me out, man. Yeah. That Nick Knight news broke my heart. Did you see it, Nigel? You're talking about the NFTs, right? God, yeah. A friend and I were talking about NFTs, and he was like, "You know who's just gone live on Instagram, talking about NFTs?" And he's like, and I was like, "No, Nick Knight is literally live right now talking about them." I watched it, and I was just like, "That's rough. That's rough, man." But hey, look, he's been wrong before. He did a whole shoot using emojis and stuff years ago. But that's it. Like that, he's out there. He always gets a pass from me. He's always out there doing different stuff and experimenting. Not everything's going to stick, I'm giving him a pass. He's untouchable. Yeah. Shilling magic beans for tech bros, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You left your last company over NFTs. Really, Robin? Can you share what company it was or what industry you worked in? Was it gaming? Don't get me started on gaming NFTs. Bastards. Well, I've done NFTs, but it's a bit late now. Look, there are people out there who are doing them. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, and I think it's different for individual artists, Vlad. It is different for it's different for individual artists. It's when companies and corporations try and jump on the bandwagon. It's just so cringe. Yeah. I hear that NFTs are turning to rat shit being used as a tax write-off. Yeah, I mean they are. You were in gaming, yeah. That is, yeah. Fair play to you for leaving, Robin. Yeah, fair play. Because like them in the gaming industry was just gross. Yeah, it's just gross. Just a joke. Yeah, I won't go on a tangent about them now, I promise. But yeah, it's kind of different in art. And look, I know people who made photographers who made a chunk of change on them early on, and like more power to them. Look, artists who make a living out of creating art, for the most part, I give them a free pass on most things, because it's you got to do what you got to do as an artist. I'm an animator, and I watch people post my animations on Twitter as NFT. Oh my god, so cringe, man. Yeah. The NFT you had on Twitter, your profile, wasn't it? Your profile picture was like a hexagon or something like that. That meant that you had an NFT. Yeah, it was just gross. It really was just turning, trying to say, I won't go into it. Let's leave this on a positive. So Dave says, quick question on your presets. Are you doing any for Capture One? So that is a good question, Dave. So no is the simple answer, but there are good programs that convert Lightroom presets to Capture One. I will try and dig it out if I can, but I can't remember who was telling me, but I know somebody who uses Capture One. They've converted my presets to Capture One using this software, and they said it's been great. So I will try and dig that out for you. But yeah, just have a Google. Converting them, for the most part, they seem pretty good. Yeah. So yeah. Ponzi scheme, All right then, guys. So you've got your homework for next week. Really looking forward to seeing everybody's mood boards next week, guys. I think they're going to be amazing. I think you'll do well. Look forward to seeing them. Joking aside, though, look, the next stream, if you want to go, look, Jake, here's my mood board, rather than me sharing an image, would you take a look at my mood board and give me any tips on it as to what I should be focusing on? If you see any similarities in my mood board that I've put together, I'm more than happy to do that. Happy to go through it on stream. All good. Right then. Look at you. Tried one in the past, didn't work too well. I'll try again. Yeah, yeah. So you are right, Dave. I know they were pretty ropey. I think recently I looked and there was a new one that came out. Definitely worth another look. Yeah. All right, guys. I can smell dinner on the table, so I'm gonna love you and leave you. Thank you so much for everybody that tuned in tonight. It's always fun chatting to you guys. I've got my list of homework here, namely DIY LED tubes. I want to pick some of your brains on those, which I may do. So yeah, look, this is great. This is what these streams are for, us sharing ideas, and looking at cool images. Thank you so much, everybody that posted an image. Incredible selection of images. I mean, and honestly, I'm not just saying that. I'm not blowing smoke up your bums. This is incredible work from everybody here. Absolutely amazing work, and so colourful as well. Thank God. All right, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. I shall catch you hopefully 2 weeks time. Do this again, and until then, stay safe, and let's see some more colourful shots out there. Speak to you again soon. Take care, guys. Bye.